I said I didn't think it was possible, and a lot has happened, and that's why I love this league. Things can change very quickly.
Y'all know the funny part? Not that much has changed since 2 weeks ago. Dak Prescott has continued to do exactly what he was doing beforehand, and the other guys have played exactly like how they were playing beforehand.
Not only did he check off a lot of the things on this list, but Jalen Hurts hasn't been playing well the past few weeks.
Oh, you mean par for the course that he's been on all season long? Jalen Hurts, from the onset of this season, has looked extremely average.
Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have been struggling. Nobody can catch a ball. He's probably not going to catch either of them or anyone else in that MVP race with the statistics that he's going to put up based off of what's around him.
And see, this is why no one respects you, Joy Taylor. It's very clear that you don't actually watch the sports that you cover. You get talking points from your producers, and then you go up on that stage and make yourself look like a complete moron. Patrick Mahomes has been dealing with the exact same issues with his receiving core since the Week 1 game against the Detroit Lions, in which they were dropping balls quicker than a pit bull in heat.
So multiple things happened. A lot of things had to happen. That's why I didn't think it was possible. And the very things I did not think were possible has been what's happened.
Y'all heard what she just said, right? Absolutely nothing. I thought that was possible. It wasn't possible until it was possible that it was possible that it would happen. What are you talking about, bruh? This is what y'all tune into for sports debate and sports talk.
Yeah, Dak's the MVP right now. He's the MVP right now. And it's simple for me. Dak's road to MVP was just win.
Yeah. And this is exactly why I haven't needed to do any major MVP campaign for Dak Prescott. I've been saying the same thing for the last few weeks now. With the way that this schedule works out for the Dallas Cowboys at the end of this season, everything is right in front of them to carpe omnia, seize everything. Dak Prescott, all he has to do is win probably 3 out of 4 of these next 4 games to end out the season, and he's more than likely going to be the league MVP.
You got to play the Eagles. You got to play the Bills. And I say get to, not have to, because it's an opportunity for Dak to show out. You just got to flip that switch in your mentality. Dak Prescott gets to go out there and win MVP, and win MVP is what he is currently on pace to do. His road to MVP is very simple. Just win and be the reason why your team does. James Jones, Dak Prescott is the MVP frontrunner for my money.
I want y'all to pay attention. Acho and James Jones are about to flip the script on Shady and Joy in just a second. Acho is kind of turning to the dark side right now at this point in the segment.
When I watch Dak Prescott play, Dak Prescott is making this game look extremely easy right now. Dak Prescott, over these last 8-9 weeks, has been the best player on the football field, clearly. And it ain't even been close.
Did y'all see the way that man Shady McCoy was over there shedding his scales? He was mad as hell over there when James Jones started talking. This is probably his least favorite day of the year.
Listen, when you talk MVP, it's about looking like you're the best player on the football field, right? Obviously putting up the numbers and your team winning. And Dak is checking all those boxes. He's winning. They're winning because of him, and he's making this thing look extremely easy, and he looks like the best player on the football field every outing. It don't matter who's out there.
Say that, James Jones. Say that.
Did Dak Prescott prove that he's the MVP frontrunner right now?
No, he didn't. I will put Dak at number 2.
I'm going to save y'all the trouble of hearing why he said he's putting Dak Prescott at number 2. It's because he still has Tyreek Hill at number 1 because he's on pace to break a record in the NFL. Which, by the way, that looks like it may be in jeopardy now. And the Dolphins just dropped a massive turd on Monday Night Football. Not happening.
But 2 things what I think about Dak Prescott is getting the praise. One is he's playing extremely well. He's having a phenomenal year so far. I think why we're so, big on Dak is because this is a player that we never thought that he would be an MVP type of player.
No, you never thought that Dak Prescott would be an MVP caliber player. I saw flashes of this in 2016 as a rookie when, he got MVP votes for the season that he put up. And then again in 2021 when, he was on pace to break every damn record as a Dallas Cowboy and a lot of the quarterback records based off his productivity.
I think Dak Prescott has taken the throne of the NFC East back from Jalen Hurts. Personally, I think he does. I think we may have been a little quick collectively to crown Jalen Hurts after one good season.
All right, listen to it. You hear Acho actually starting to tell the truth about how he's feeling a little bit guilty. And he's about to just flat out admit in a second he feels guilty about the perception of Dak Prescott. But yes, everyone has crowned every quarterback not named Dak Prescott way too fast. Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Jared Goff, Daniel Jones, Jalen Hurts. Anyone not named Dak Prescott, y'all are ready to crown and put on top of the mountain.
Now that we look at Jalen Hurts' 4 years body of work, he didn't play much as a rookie. He played the last 4 games of the season. His sophomore year, he was not very good. His third year, he went crazy. And his fourth year, he's been average.
Sounds like Acho been watching the videos. I've been beating that drum for the last few weeks.
Yeah, and if you're a real Dallas fan, like a diehard Dallas fan, and you being honest, you would say, out of all these last couple of years, he was the biggest question mark on the team.
One thing I cannot stand that these sports commentators continue to do when they have absolutely no connections, no ties to Cowboys Nation at all. Shady McCoy, please, you're the last person that we want speaking for us. In fact, I think you're late for your TV show, Hey Franklin. Hey, it's Franklin. That's where you should be at. You're an absolute joke. You're nothing but a cartoon character up there. No one in Cowboys Nation is being spoken for by you. Yeah, you had some of the fan base out there, Dak Prescott, but the smart fans were looking at coaching. They were looking at discipline. They were looking at scheming. There was a lot of issues with the Cowboys outside of just looking at Dak and assuming that he's the reason why they're not being successful. Only the over-emotional or uninformed fans were doing that. Which, now I just talked myself into understanding why those are the only fans that you that I've ever heard you say, Shady McCoy. Instead of saying Dak Prescott is playing better than player X, Y, and Z, you would rather just say Dak Prescott is playing better than anyone else. You want to leave their names out of it because you're idolizing and placing these men on a pedestal that they're just another quarterback in the National Football League. They have a good season, they have a bad season like anybody else. No one is untouchable.
He deserves his flowers for how he's playing, and they're winning because of him on a team that is absolutely loaded. It's great for him.
And some of y'all keep trying to convince me that Joy Taylor is reasonable and she's fair. Y'all heard the backhanded compliment she just tried to give Dak Prescott, right? He's playing well on an absolutely loaded team. No one was saying the Cowboys were loaded before Dak Prescott started this run. No one was saying the Cowboys were loaded before the season started. In fact, there was a lot of questions about the Cowboys and what they would even be, what their offense would even look like. In fact, the plan for the offense was completely different than what it is now because Dak Prescott has ascended to the point to where the Dallas Cowboys know they can win on his arm. Stop it.
Like, I feel bad for Dak perception. And the reason I do is because, like, it does feel so weird to put Dak in the conversations of Allen.
Why,
Put Dak, not to me, but I'm saying to hear Shady say it. Like, I understand where Shady's coming from. But it's interesting because it didn't feel weird when we put Jalen Hurts in those conversations.
Say that, Acho. Say that.
Like, it didn't feel weird when we said, like, oh, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. That didn't feel weird.
When did we do that, though?
Last year.
What happened last year?
When we did it as Jalen Hurts was on the trajectory to go to a Super Bowl.
Right.
Which Dak Prescott is currently on the trajectory too.
Joy Taylor is really living up to the stereotypes. This woman is legitimately allergic to accountability. This is probably the third or fourth time now I've seen her try to gaslight the audience into believing that that exact program hasn't perpetuated a lot of the BS perceptions that are surrounding Dak Prescott. That exact program hasn't been one of the leading forces in placing Jalen Hurts on this high pedestal that he does not deserve to be on.
Dak Prescott is on pace to have a better season than Jalen Hurts. On pace to have 13 wins. He could get to 14 if he wins out. He's on pace to have more total yards, on pace to have more total touchdowns than Jalen Hurts had last year. Jalen Hurts did not win MVP last year.
Right.
And I just want to say again, we covered this on the video that I uploaded yesterday, so be sure to check that video out because it covered some of the other things that Joy Taylor was saying in this particular segment. But Dak Prescott and the seasons that he has had as a professional, Jalen Hurts' best season as of right now will be Dak Prescott's fourth best season that he had in his career so far.
It's weird for us to put Dak in conversations that we have willingly put other quarterbacks into.
I think the difference may be is we've seen the growth. It's hard to put him in that category for the whole remainder of everything because of this good moment he's had. He's having.
Let me ask you this.
You've seen the growth. Yeah, you've seen Jalen Hurts go from looking like a lost, clueless rookie quarterback to his second season looking very, very average, if not below average, to the point to where Philly fans were actually looking for another quarterback. And then he finally had a good season, and then he reverted back to how he looked beforehand. He's had 2 full seasons and 1 partial season in which he's looked kind of below average and 1 season in which he looked good. Which one is actually the norm for him?
And Joy, James, all the same question. I feel as though we're punishing Dak for always having been good.
You guys are.
James Jones said, don't bunch me in with that BS, man.
Think about Dak Prescott.
His resume is his resume, though,
but
right?
Of course, but let's talk about his resume.
Okay.
Came into the league 13-3.
Cool.
Won the NFC, got an MVP vote as a rookie. So thus, the rest of his career, because he started here, when he does this, it doesn't look as dramatic. But had Dak Prescott started 3-13 and then gone to 10-13.
You know what? I gotta say, Acho, that was actually a really good point that I haven't heard many people make.
I gotta believe more. Like when I watch him on tape, he looks phenomenal. But like, how long was that gonna run out? Is that gonna run out? Is it gonna keep going? That's my question. It's like a question mark. Are we gonna keep getting this Dak Prescott that's looking phenomenal, better than everybody, or is he gonna go back to being really, really good or being good, right? Good moments, bad in the playoffs. That's the only thing. Because if you put him in this category with these other dudes.
Now, the reason this part of the video looks different is because Speak didn't actually want to upload the rest of this segment on their channel because it kind of started going off the rails a little bit. James Jones, you can actually visually see him get upset when Shady McCoy said that he was bad in the playoffs because, again, another disingenuous false statement made by Shady McCoy based off his emotion and low IQ.
But Dak Prescott, even before Coach Mike, has been a consistent quarterback in the National Football League. Yeah. And yes, he might not make some of these plays that Josh makes with his legs and crazy throws and all that type stuff, right? But Dak Prescott is an elite quarterback the way he is playing football right now.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I really be appreciating when James Jones get fired up because when he gets fired up like that, you know that he feels passionately that someone else on the other end of their desk is letting a bunch of bullshit come out their mouth.
Right now, it might not be I'm throwing sidearm that way and all that like Josh and Patty and that, but that don't mean elite quarterback. Right now, if we're living in the now, Dak Prescott is an elite quarterback. And if he wins MVP and who knows how far he goes in the playoffs, Dak Prescott deserves to be in that elite conversation because even before he was in that, he was a winner and winning football games. So
you're right, but this game,
all quarterbacks ain't gonna look the same.
I agree.
And that's yet another very good point that I need to spend a little bit more time on discussing with my audience. Just because dudes are throwing sidearm passes and they're able to do fancy horse trick shots when they're throwing the ball, that doesn't mean that they're a good quarterback, bro. That doesn't come with being an amazing quarterback. Yes, that's a nice little tool to have in your toolkit, but that's not what being an amazing quarterback is about, bruh. Being an amazing quarterback is about being able to scan that field, read a defense, control what's happening at the line of scrimmage, get your team in and out of the right plays, make the right reads at the right times, keep the timing of the offense flowing. Controlling the game in all aspects is not just about making trick shots.
I'm just saying being consistent. That's all I'm saying.
You just gotta give managers respect.
I'm giving him respect, right? But when you start talking about, this when we talking about respect. We speaking on Patrick Mahomes like he ain't Patrick Mahomes because he's having a down year. No, you're not with me.
Just so the context isn't lost on y'all watching, at no point in this segment did any of these guys say anything negative about Patrick Mahomes. This segment was about giving Dak Prescott his flowers. Shady McCoy made giving Dak Prescott his flowers an indictment against Patrick Mahomes just because Dak is playing up to the level that we've seen Patrick Mahomes traditionally play at. He feels like that's some kind of crazy slight, bro. I'm just trying to make sure that y'all are with me right now.
I'm more passionate about it because I've been there where I've really put work out here, and they have a dude that has a really, really good year, and you want to put him with me. Like, huh? So, hold on. So my thing is, like, when you talk about Patrick Mahomes, let's know that he is that difference. You know what I'm saying? If Dak Prescott can keep playing like this year and next year, then I'm like, yo, nah, hold up. So Dak is up there with Josh. He up there with Pat.
So really quick,
until that happens, I can't do that.
Josh ain't accomplished none of that. Why do you got Josh in there in the elite?
The same reason why you talk about Josh on turnovers, but you always say he's a top 3 quarterback.
But I'm just saying, why do you have
because he's
elite?
Because he has a different talent level that most quarterbacks don't have.
Boom, there it is. Shady McCoy feels some type of way because he has some type of deep-rooted issues that he needs to go see a psychiatrist about as it pertains to his professional playing career. There it is. The insecurity about how his career ended up finally came out. He made a statement about someone being elevated to his level based off of 1 or 2 good years. Shady McCoy, that right there lets me know that, for one, you let your personal feelings get involved with your arguments. Number 2, you have no clear understanding of what your position value was. The running back was a position that has a 2 to 3 year lifespan as far as being that lead back on the team. You're not going to be the type of running back that someone keeps on their team for 10 to 15 years, bro. You wasn't Emmitt Smith. Shady, you was a cool running back, but you wasn't Emmitt Smith, bro. You wasn't Barry Sanders, bro. You were not these all-time great level running backs, bro. You were a running back in a high-powered offense that had weapons all over the field, and you benefited from that. At no time during your time with Philadelphia were teams able to just put 8 men in the box and focus on just stopping Shady McCoy. They had Deshaun Jackson, Michael Vick, and all these other players out there, Jamry Macklin, had all these other dudes out there that they had to worry about, bro. It wasn't just you at any point in time, Shady. That's the problem. Your ego was way too overinflated. And on top of that, exactly to what James Jones said, what has Josh Allen done to get this level of reverence and get this level of respect and permanent respect that people have seemingly bestowed upon him? He hasn't done anything. Also, to play off of something that you just said, Shady, before we wrap this video up, my guy, Jalen Hurts had one good season. He had a moment of playing good football, and he really didn't even play good football for 80% of the playoffs. He had one good season. Yet Dak Prescott, even though he has had multiple seasons of putting up over 100 passer rating in his entire career, which means he's playing very good football, Dak Prescott has to do it for 2 seasons, 2-3 seasons in a row before you're ready to put him in that particular category. But other guys can have one decent 2-game stretch in the playoffs and all of a sudden they're permanently elite. Get the fuck out of here with that, man. Hey, man, y'all know always in these videos, bruh, how them Cowboys. Check out my link in the description below to sign up for BetUS Daily Fantasy Sports, man. I'll see y'all on the next one. Take it away, Pastor. These dudes crazy, boy.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.